Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo. It's Monday, and I'm gonna start the day off right with some Dorohedoro. Last week we watched episode 2. This week we're on episode 3. Last week, a whole bunch of weird stuff happened. We went to a club. We went to Boss N's favorite restaurant where he was served mushrooms, presumably made from people, and we found out that Boss N has the ability to just bleh and turn people into fucking fungus, like Caduceus Clay on goddamn steroids, which is mildly horrifying. Okay, it's actually pretty horrifying. We also discovered a lot of stuff about Shin and fuck, is her name Noi? That's what she's got on her back, but I'm not sure if that's actually her name. Shin and his bulky female friendo. Shin has a sticky fingers ability. He could just like chop people up and they stay alive, and that's really creepy. And then we went in search of this guy who uses needles. I think his name was Needle, who is apparently a sorcerer and apparently not a bad dude. Who tried to change Kaiman's face back, but his magic didn't work on him because he has magic resistance. Yuan T shit. Fuck. So that didn't work. We're beginning to find out that there is a more complicated social structure among sorcerers than we might have initially thought. At least I initially thought. I thought it was a pretty simple setup where it's just like Boss N is at the top and everybody else follows Boss N. Not so much. There are sorcerers who are living in whole, doing nice things, being philanthropic, and there are apparently sorcerers who have it out for the boss, given the two transforming people who did the weird walk thing in Kaiman's head body and attempted to assassinate him, which was not a good idea. They got destroyed and then turned into mushrooms and then presumably eaten. Oh boy. Other people had a really bad idea in this episode, and that idea was, hey, let's assault this totally helpless, defenseless woman as she comes back with her food. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Nikaido fucked some guys up real good, stepped on some eyes. It was pretty brutal. Although I don't know if it was her who stepped on the eye or if it was one of his homies. In any case, this world is gory and brutal and fucking fun. It's really enjoyable, so let's watch more of it, okay? Okay. So, I've got episode 3 of Dorohedoro up and ready to go. It's at 0 seconds. There will be, oh, I should tell you, I'm using the Judas version again. It's what's up and what I have that has subs, and the subs have been okay so far. As far as I know, it's using a pretty not great web rip of the quality of the video itself, but it's what I've got. And I can't be arsed to remix it myself onto somebody else's web rip, so fuck it. That's what I've got. That's what we're gonna watch. Cool, cool. So there will be 2 versions of this reaction. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the description and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you want to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of the episode with the timer-based version, you're welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. This is like, this is Halloween, this is Halloween. Oh. Forced to fight? You mean like, oh wow. This is like a thing. That's awesome. little hat tip? Maybe. He said it in English, right? Don't stop, just kill. What is with their head things? They're like bicycle helmets. You know, the super speedy ones. The guys this year? Like zombies? Uh, what? Okay. Yeah. This OP is such a fucking trip. I'm trying to think of never mind. It's a stupid thought. It's also fine. Like if you were to call certain anime or relate them to certain drugs, what would they be? I feel like this would be either mescaline or ketamine. Still eating dinner in the place? Oh, okay. Different place. This looks like a nice little Italian dive. They're racing from back then. What? Eh? Eh. Oh, hi. Oh, Jesus. Okay, she is Noi. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, she's still gonna be fucking crazy. Next job is Kaiman, right? Cayman. Kaiman? I don't know. Loves his job. They say, do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. And he seems to love murder. Sure. Oh. Hmm. Pretty good at the double cleaver method. So this is like a fun fair. So it's not points but plates. Assault like a demonic circle. Oh. Okay. And people come back to life. Awesome. It's Night of the Living Dead. This is awesome. They're just having so much fun with it. Ah. Namu Amida Butsu. Too many. Way too many. Okay. And they're coming in too. Gonna run into hospital guy? Oh, nope. So, do they not know about this? Hi. Just a little bit. Couldn't be a zombie. They don't know. But he lived in Hole for a while. He would know. Okay. And another one. So it spreads. Standard zombie rules apply. Seems like it. Always a competition. Okay. Split the party. Never split the party. I'm sure there's nothing spooky in this room. Or right behind you. All right. And, oh, we cut away. 2 hours later. There's just the screams in the background. Jesus. Hello, you'll have trouble with a heart. Oh my god. Ah, what a pain. When books the... Yep, you want a nom? Hype. Mm-hmm. 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 And nope. Yeah, but fists work on you, right? And hammers? Well... Brains and brawn. Versus the opposite. Yeah, don't take her lightly. We've seen what she can do. But you're also really terrifying. Can she use her healing on herself continuously? Does it? Probably more than a couple. Hey? No, you have to kill her. Yeah. Ow. Okay. Okay. No. No, he's gonna get real fucking mad. Hit. Hit. Jesus, no way. Will they rise again as zombies because it's this night? Straight through the heart. Time to nom? Time to nom. Hey, welcome. I don't fucking know, dude. Hello. Yeah. I'm sorry, what? Oh, what? Is she? Oh, ho, ho. You know, she kind of looks like Shin. Okay. Okay, so their goals end up. Oh, yeah. Clunk. Episode. No. What the fuck? Great backgrounds as usual. Oh, they die in the sunlight? Okay. So she's a sorcerer. And he's alive. Sure. Yeah. What are the chances she's the one who cast this upon him? Not high. Haha, funny joke. Probably nothing. So you're another sorcerer who chooses to live in Hall. Yo. Hey, he bought the thing. Aw. Aw. The wholesome. It's already making. He has it's an entirely regrown head. What the fuck? She cleans up nicely. Sure. Yeah, it's a little weird. A little bit. Oh, that's ominous. Oh, the alley. Drawn here. What? It was all a dream? Oh, that's not good. Yeah. That's a really good question, man. Hmm. Hmm. That explains their fighting prowess. Whoa. And then I met you. Okay. All the spines cut off of it. What will we find out? Okay. A portal to another dimension? Convenient. This is a little spooky. No, that's the dude in your mouth. This is the alley. Suddenly you're here. What the fuck? Flickerty flicker. Wah! Eh? And lights come back on. Because when he opened the mouth. What? But there's control over the electronics. This is cool. We get to do the found footage thing. It wasn't, though. It was the guy. Mm-hmm. And that is Dorohedoro. Sure. And for the present, you can just eat as much gyoza as you want. That is a real souped up bike. Holy fuck. I'm sorry, it's a... Broom. Oh, this is different. Cool. We're getting a realer OP or realer ED. Neat. Sure. This episode was wild. I mean, they all have been, but this one was wilder than wild. Freaking. Oh. Pac-Man? Something akin to it. And the door. Close. Alright, so we get the little speechy thing? Yeah. Sure. Damn right. Sure. Okay, well, as I was saying, this episode was wild. From the setup of this, like, just a random day where all the zombies just awaken because we want to have a zombie fight. Cool. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it be that way? I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I wanted to see it. They showed it to me. I'm happy. Whoa, what? Some more information on Nikaido. She was a sorcerer, not only a sorcerer, but a cleaner. Explains a bit of her fighting prowess, which until now I had just assumed, like, Hull is a really rough place. You learn to fight or you die. No, a lot more than that. She's a sorcerer. We don't know quite what her sorcerer abilities are. We only saw her create a door, which it seems like they can all do. But, wonder if there are any hints via, like, based on the door that she creates. I don't know. What's continuously fascinating to me about this series is the way that the society functions. It has all of these very strange things going on. Very strange things that don't make any sense, but at the same time make perfect sense. Like the whole monastic order that has these weird head-shaped things that wear sneakers so that they can run away from the zombies, and then use weird Ghostbusters anti-vacuum cleaners to spray salt on them. Like, what? What the fuck? But it all works together. It all fits into this weird mishmash of concepts built into this world. And then it's a little bit lampshaded by Shin, who's like, it's just a world of fantasy. All kinds of weird stuff happens here because we've been fucking with this place with our sorcerer powers for so long. It's really interesting. Okay, so when her door appears, it looks like a VHS tape almost, is what I would say. Like, you know how they sometimes have the two windows where you can see the two spools in the tape, and then it's got the forward and reverse. So I wonder if her abilities have something to do with time or speeding herself up and slowing things down. Unknown. But it really it does look kind of like a VHS tape as she gets into there. Wonder, I mean, it raises so many questions, right? Like, why is she no longer a cleaner? Is it just because she met this dude or other things? I don't know. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. And she chooses not to rely on her powers, and indeed to keep the fact that she was a sorcerer hidden, partly because she thinks that it'll turn into enmity between her and her best friend, it seems. But maybe for personal reasons as well. Now, there is a question to be asked whether, uh, yeah, we see him So she sees his face and doesn't recognize him. I was gonna say, I mean, they're both blonde. They both got relatively moderately similar-ish facial features. They could be siblings or something, but that's a bit of a stretch, and there's nothing that indicates that except that they kind of look like each other. So I'll just leave that by the wayside for now. It doesn't really matter. It might matter in the future. What's another thing that's fascinating about this show is how we sort of blend the humor with the horror, with the this is just the way things are, which isn't quite horror, it's just the way this world exists. This world sucks. Like, it really sucks to live in Hole, and they just keep doubling down on showing us what that's like. Like, yeah, every year we have a zombie night. It's a fun bash. And oh, on the same note about like the way that the systems of the world interact, and if you think about them as like as game systems, right? You want coherence, and you want them to like interact with each other in a meaningful way. The monk system, the fact that they can't really get anybody to do this without having some kind of prizes, and so this becomes an event where in a very prize driven, like, fun fair fashion, we've got the kill the zombie shop, and if you get points or plates, the things that are apparently they're like dog tags inserted into their spines or whatever for this purpose, then you can trade them in for cool stuff. I wonder if these are actual album covers that I don't recognize because I don't know shit about music. Maybe. I feel like there are tons of little references hidden everywhere. I just feel like there are. I don't know. But yeah, with the strung up lights and the big old lantern things and all that stuff, it's pretty great. It just throws us into this crazy world. Ridiculous. And really definitely tipping our hats toward Night of the Living Dead or similar zombie movies. It's pretty great. Because why not? It's fun. It's ridiculous. And they happen to arrive on this night. The one thing that didn't make sense to me is that Shin, as somebody who lived in Hole for a while, would probably know about this night. So it wouldn't come as a surprise to him. But that's fine. We still get to have this whole zombie eating somebody half off screen obscured by foreground objects, which is classic. The little tips to Western zombie films are everywhere, and they're really enjoyable. It's really fun. I think somebody commented on one of the first episodes that the author is a huge fan of Western like pulp literature and pulp film or campy film, and so we'll probably be seeing a lot more of this kind of weird out of time or place insertions of strange referencey stuff, which is great. I like that kind of stuff. It makes the world weird, and it creates this sort of space that bridges the gap between reality and fantasy in a very fun way. Now, I will say that of the fight scenes that we've seen so far, I think this one was the least impactful for me. The fight with Nikaido and Noi has these what should be really huge hit moments, and they just fall a little bit flat for me and personally. I don't know if they fall flat for you. You could have loved this fight scene, and that's totally cool. But previous fights have been, I think, a little bit better directed and a little bit better done. Meh. Then we get the fight between Shin and our boy. That one's pretty great. I think part of it is the way that they're doing dialogue in the middle of a fight. Like in a manga panel, you just have the one pose and then the text bubble next to it, right? So there's a weird sense of like, how are they saying this during the speech? And you get this in JoJo's too. I think that JoJo's does something different with it, where they sort of like they'll cut to close up of character saying thing so that it's sort of distanced from the actual fighting that's going on. So your brain doesn't think like, oh, they're just stopping in the middle of combat to hold a pose for a little while and then talk, which is kind of what they do here, and it doesn't work super well for me. But it's fine. It's one of the just like, it's a problem when you're adapting a manga into anime, because manga doesn't have time as an axis. Anime does. Like, you have to figure out how the voice actor will say this line and where they'll say it. And if they're just saying it in middle of combat, then what the hell are you doing? Like, yeah. Yeah. And then we take a turn for the even more horrifying. I mean, the zombie section is horror, but it's pulpy, fun horror. Like, I doubt anybody's going to be scared by this or even grossed out by the goriness because it's so far into the realm of pulpy. And then we get into some real genuine like body horror stuff with nailing him with the hammer in the side of the head and definitely piercing his skull and brain. Like, and then clawing his way out of his skull by busting him up, just blood spraying, awful and wonderful. So in a twist, not only is Kaiman immune to magic, it seems, he also seems to be something akin to immortal, like beyond zombie level. Like zombies, you chop their head off, it's over. It's over. Kaiman's he just regrows that shit. I mean, the thing that the doc says about lizard stuff implies that maybe he thinks it's part of his lizardiness, but it seems to be more than that. There's definitely an interesting mystery around who is Kaiman and what the hell happened on that night. These dream sequences continue to be wonderfully creepy, and the guy in his head or in his mouth continues to be wonderfully creepy. I think my favorite sequence in the episode, however, is when we get the dark hallway. And yeah, this whole sequence here at the end is wonderful, and I think shows a pretty, from the mangaka's perspective, and then from the direction of the anime coming after it or adapting it, it shows a pretty clear understanding of like how Western horror is done and Eastern horror. This whole sequence with the sort of found footage that is the only thing that tells us what was really going on because we can't really trust our own eyes, and the implication and indication that whatever is inside his mouth, because of the timing here, as he opens it and suddenly click, the lights go out and the camera stops really recording anything except for a vague shape, is very, it fits that whole found footage type of Western horror film, and I like it a lot. And then stuff like the panning flashlight back and forth illuminating random objects, it's really solid. Oh, and then there was something else that worked really well from a horror perspective, which was the way we did the zombie jump scare on the doctor. I don't know where it was. Yeah, here. So Doc's alone. We split the party. This is classic stuff. And the sound cues were really pulpy, I would say. And then we do the slow zoom in from behind that accelerates as we get closer, implying that we're in the body of the monster until he turns around and sees that there's no monster there. And then we cut to this perspective. So we've given us the setup for a jump scare that we've all seen before, and then subverted it. There's no monster there, so where's the monster? There he is! And with a sweeping camera motion only possible in CG, there he is! It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And then we just cut away from it. Cool. So we finally get a face-off between two current cleaners, one former cleaner and one weird lizard-headed dude with Bowie knives. Yeah, sure. Why not? Cool. Ebisu as a weird form of comic relief continues to be wonderful. I really like her presence in the story because it could get less light without somebody weird. I mean, they're all weird, but without somebody crazy in the picture. And she's fucking crazy. And then the final sequence with the broom that he's trying to sell. Of course, it functions as a great broom. Jesus. What? What? So, brooms powered by magic, sort of going into that witchy stuff. Okay, sure. Why not? What? And new ED. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. I mean, it's simple. We've got one walk cycle for each character that just sort of slides across the screen, but it's synced up to the beat, and it's groovy and it's colorful, and the background art is fantastic with these. I feel like they're inspired by New York buildings, the row houses and stuff, or something similar from somewhere else. I don't know, but it's cool. And obviously, I think obviously for me, the background work and the background art and the general mechanical design of this crazy grungy world continues to really carry it beyond any jank that comes from the CG character models or whatever. It all pretty much works. Yeah, fun episode. Lots of pulpy horror stuff that I found really enjoyable. Cool. And lots of new mysteries and new bits of information. Cool. Well, we'll find out what we find out next time, but until then, that's still a mystery, and that is Dorohedoro. So, I've been Teeaboo. This has been Dorohedoro, blah, 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 Dorohedoro, episode 43333. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week in the next one. If there's anything that I missed, throw it in the comments. I'll check it out. And if you've got thoughts on what happened in this episode, I'd love to see them. So throw those in the comments too. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Peace.